So welcome back to Rooted and Rising, you guys. We are here for another episode, and we have Mr. Terry joining us. Thank you so much for being here.
No doubt. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it, and we're having a fun topic today. We're talking about the process of becoming what God has called us to be. That's an interesting one because we're all here to really day by day. We're learning as we go.
Emphasis on process.
Exactly. Yep.
Big emphasis on that.
It is a process. It takes time.
Yeah.
Patience and giving yourself grace towards that process is the one of the keys, because a lot of the times we're impatient human beings, right? Like we want it now.
Yeah.
And selfish, and we have to learn how to be selfless. So I'm excited about it to hear, talk with you today and everything. But so welcome. I'm so excited because the last guest we had was Mercedes. And so we're excited for just some fresh insight and whatnot.
And Mercedes highly recommended this guest
Yes,
right here.
Man, it's an honor. Mercedes is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's great to follow her up. And I'm excited to dive into it. I've loved the work that you guys have been up to.
Thank you.
And it's an honor to be here with you. And let's dive in and explore this. I'm excited.
Let's do it. I love the energy. See, I love it. I love it.
Right.
It's contagious. I was thinking about it coming here this morning, and I was like, man, you kind of was going through some things yesterday, and I'm like, it's fresh. Let's start new, and just kind of manifesting what things become into energy, right? And you kind of feel that from one another. And I was like, I'm not going to be disappointed by Terry. Like I already know. I already know. So
I appreciate
thanks
that.
for being you. That's all I'm saying.
No doubt. Thank you.
But let's dive in.
Yeah. So we talked about becoming, and we also talked about process.
Yeah.
What does the process of becoming mean to you?
Yeah, it's a big question. So I think anything that we dream of doing, having, or being definitely requires a process of becoming. And I think people want to gloss over that, right?
Yeah.
People want like a quick, we're in a TikTok generation, an Instagram generation, man, give me 5 quick steps from a guru who has no certification.
Yeah. Give me my purpose.
They saw a quick thing on their feed and they're going to regurgitate it into your feed. It's like, oh, I got it. And that's what life purpose means. But I think that really the better we are at getting quiet, the more equipped we are to live loud. I think that people can only meet other people at the level to which they've met themselves, right?
Right.
So I think that if we don't suffer enough, I know that doesn't sound convenient or comfortable, and if we don't get quiet enough, like unplugged, like choose something that you'll do that is hard, that you don't get paid for, that even if you do it right for a long time, you're still questioning whether or not you're seeing results.
Yeah.
But if you do it wrong, boom, instant repercussions. Like if we all chose that kind of thing, I call it an unrelenting endeavor. I think that's really good for humans because it introduces you to yourself at a deeper level. And you start to see, oh, this wasn't just a goal. This wasn't just a good idea. This wasn't just a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
This wasn't just something that I kind of wanted for myself. It's something that I've decided I value enough that I'm willing to suffer for it. And I challenge myself to suffer well. So like for me, getting into this high rock stuff, and it takes a lot of miles of running.
100%.
And so I started running and I'm like, okay, this ain't no half marathon. I can't just run. I got to be able to do what they call compromised run. When I'm tired, can I run? After pushing a sled, can I run? After toting those kettlebells, can I immediately get back to the run? And so I had to say, okay, these runs don't feel good. I need to eat better. Well, that's not fun. I need to get more sleep. Oh, shoot. Now I'm missing out on all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
I need to get some compression boots and get a hypervolt therapy done. And like doing all this stuff to aid the run. Well, then the byproduct over time is that I don't just get good at running. I literally become a better runner. Right? It's all about that process of becoming. And that's so critical to anything we want to pursue in life.
Yeah, that is. Well, running is a big con. We always think it's just the cheapest sport. Just get some shoes and go.
Right.
Once you become one, you realize, it just keeps adding on. The bill keeps coming. I need these sunglasses to run so they don't bounce.
Yeah.
Running is free. Becoming a runner is expensive.
Yes, exactly. But you said, do something you love without getting paid for.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting paid. That is hard.
So hard, right? Without instant gratification.
Yes.
Like we said, Instagram culture, microwave culture, give me results, give them to me now. Just tell me like what pill I need to take to just solve my problems, right?
Yep.
And to be able to shift to a growth mindset and say, I'm going to do whatever needs to be done not just to do the thing, but to become the type of person for whom this thing comes naturally, that's where we see growth. That's where we see elevation.
Yeah.
That's where we really become all we're called to be.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing podcast producing, videos, all this for other people for 5 years.
Wow.
5 years. This is, and I'm finally 50 year. We're finally starting to do a podcast, but I'm still helping other people out without getting paid for it. No money in my pocket. Doing it off of, I love what I'm doing, and I love who I'm doing it for. I'm helping other people out, help growing the word. So it fills me up. That's real. That's like the real satisfaction. I don't need a paycheck. This is better than a paycheck. The satisfaction I get, the fulfillment I get from doing what I love to do.
That's great. You said a big word there too, fulfillment. That's the paycheck nobody can take from
I
it,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
Fulfillment is literal wealth. It sounds woo-woo or, but dive in past the cliche sound of that and like really sit with it and notice that fulfillment, when you feel a sense of gratitude based on contribution, the byproduct is fulfillment. And then it's like, I have a shorter list of things I want or need, and I have a bigger list of the things that I already have, right? Like Greg McCune, one of my favorite authors, he has this great line. He says, when we focus on what we lack, we lose what we have. When we focus on what we have, we gain what we lack.
Okay.
Therefore, gratitude is a superpower. It turns whatever you have into enough. And when I hear the word fulfillment,
Right.
I'm like, dude, that's directly connected to gratitude. It's like, I was so grateful to perform the work and to produce something great in the lives of others through it, that now it's not really connected to financial concerns. Like, I'm paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, inflation can't touch that. When a heart is postured in a position of peace, there's gratitude. It's like, I don't know. Like, this is everything.
Exactly. I have so many people telling me, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop working for free. You need to stop doing this for free. And it's like, okay, I'll just listen to them, but I'm not listening to them because I know what I'm doing it's fulfilling. It's paying me already, what I'm doing. And no matter what, I can do my own podcast for 1 or 2 years later on. I could have my own set where people are now DMing me, hey, I need your help with this. I want to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
They see it now, but they didn't see the part where I'm studying what the heck. I don't know what this is. I don't know what is the ISO? What is what is a LUT? What is all this stuff? I'm trying to figure out lighting and everything. So, and I'm still learning the process as I go. But yeah, it's a whole different experience when you're doing something that you actually love and it fulfills you.
Yeah, for sure.
Dang. Have you always like had this like calling when it came to like coaching other people? I mean, you had mentioned a brief story, you being 9 years old and having to, say a speech, but have you kind of always had it in you, like this fire and this desire to kind of lead others? I
think that it's so funny. Like, I was at a family gathering just the other day.
Yeah.
And there was this joke made about how when my cousins would come to town, it was 2 cousins, they would always want to sit on either side of me. And then my little sister would want to sit beside me too. So like if we're in a restaurant, it would be like this. This sounds funny me saying this, like no ego. I'm not making this about me. Right. But it was just this funny thing that like since a small age, it's like people would gravitate toward me, or my mom would make comments like, hey, get yourself ready when we walk you into school. Everybody's going to want to hug you. Yeah. And that's okay. Right. And so I think I understood from a young age that there was something about me that kind of pulled people toward me. And then naturally, as a byproduct of that, I sort of assumed this position where I want to have something to say that contributes positively into people's lives.
You're right.
Right? Like, hey, if we're all gathering around, hey, get you some goods while you're here kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of evolved into this skill for eloquent communication and speaking. And, when my grandfather passed away, I'm a kid. I get asked to speak at his funeral. And then people are just coming up in droves like, yo, when you grow up, you should be a pastor. You should be a leader of some sort. You should speak. You should run for public office. Like all this, as a kid, I don't know how to process any of that information. But I did kind of take notes. And then there was an instance where when George Floyd passed, my family at the time was running a restaurant. And we were reached out to by a person in Congress that basically was like, hey, would you consider hosting George Floyd's family, legal team, and close friends the night before the funeral? And so my family, of course, said, yes, we're glad to do that. Gave them like a respite, little break from media attention, all this kind of stuff. And lo and behold, we're in that moment. My family is like, hey, listen, there's news trucks pulled up outside. You got to go talk to them. And so I ended up being kind of like the voice of like moments like that. And so it started in early childhood, but then as things progressed over time, it's just like again and again and again, these things would pop up where it's like, this is just what you're supposed to do. This is who you're here to
You're
be.
called to be.
Yeah, I think it's, bigger than what you do, it's who you are, right? And it's just, I say this thing all the time to my wife. I say, sometimes life talks back to you. And I think this is one of those things where I think God was orchestrating my life such that life circumstance would always talk back to me, and a lot of times, even like as we had the gyms, there would be, cases where people would be like, hey, you should come and keynote speaker opportunity pops up, or you should come and guest speak at this conference, or hey, I'm working with this sports team, they really need what you have, this is going to be great as like a season launch conversation. And so there were always these opportunities to coach, not just in the gym for physical fitness, but like coaching mental and emotional and spiritual and relational fitness. And so I've come to a place where I just feel abundantly clear that this is who I'm here to be. Like if I don't do that, I won't experience that fulfillment. I won't be able to have that level of gratitude connected to contribution. I would be so empty if I try to just do something for a stable paycheck.
Absolutely.
Knowing that I'm getting the bills paid, but I'm not ultimately like feeding my soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's not right for your kids.
Yeah. They can feel that.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so we're talking about, filling our cups and everything. And you also had mentioned, I mean, you're a leader, you're a coach, and you lead others. How do you, what are your best ways of filling your cup on the opposite dynamic when it comes to are there people you listen to, or are there people you go to kind of give you knowledge? You know what I mean? How do you go about that on continuing to learn? Just because.
Yeah, that's a great question too. I love reading.
Okay.
So there are a few authors that I follow, and I love just the content that they pour out. Not from an information space, but more of an inspiration space. Okay. I love John Mark Comer. His book, Practicing the Way, changed my life in such a way I literally got the words "practicing the way" tattooed on my body.
Nice. Okay.
I love Ryan Holiday. And so he pulls forward stuff from history or philosophy or a faith worldview. It's not exclusive to one perspective, but it's like really good practical wisdom for everyday life. Also, that same author, Ryan Holiday, has this movement, The Daily Dad, which I love.
Oh, neat.
It's like short podcasts, like 3 minutes a day, every day, gives you a little tip on fatherhood.
That's awesome.
So I have who I call my OGs, like people in that stratosphere.
Right.
Like, I don't know this person personally, but I love the literature they put out. And then in my life, I have people who I love following them and taking notes from their life, right?
Right.
So there was one guy, an incredible leader who I got close to over several years. And I wanted to ask him to be my mentor, but I also knew of this guy, like he's way too busy. Like he's either going to be too nice and be like, oh, of course I will. And then he can't make any of the mentorship meetings. Or he'll be like, I'm so sorry, no offense, but I don't have the time to do that. So I've made this decision, instead of asking him to be my mentor, I was like, you know what? I've checked in with myself. I'm aware of my core values. I know what I want to see represented in my life when I get to that person's age. So let me just hang out with this person and take notes on how they're living. And I started to extract such big truths that were just like their heart beats for these things that they couldn't say or communicate or cutely organize a meeting to explain it. They just live it. And I'm just taking it in by osmosis.
Literally. Same. My mentor, same way. I never really he's my mentor without me even ever asking him to be my mentor. I'm just around him all the time, a lot. And then hearing how he's like, oh yeah, I was watching TV today. I don't get to do it often. So I sat down and I did it. After 30 minutes, I got tired of it. So I went back to writing. But he's always writing. He's always in the word. He's always doing something for getting something done. I want to do this. I want to think about doing this. And then 2 days later, he'll email me, look, I did it. Here you go. Check this out. I was like, oh, you didn't just talk it. You actually did it immediately.
That part.
It wasn't an idea. It was, you made it. You brought it to real life. Like you really didn't mean it when you said you want to do that. I hear it all the time. People saying, I want to do that, but it's just a want. They don't go out there and go get it. You did. And so that's what same thing about osmosis. I'm like, okay, this is the way you got to do something like that if you want to be there. That's
amazing. I love that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Gosh, okay. You answered that because I feel like I mentioned to you now that, I'm kind of on this path and journey of, finding someone I look up to and mentoring and asking the questions. That's what I'm struggling with now, is asking those hard questions or uncomfortable questions on why are you doing it that way? Or, like for me, I guess it'd be the owner of my company, because he's just like all over the place, and he decided to open up this business one day because he's been in it for years. And so I'm like, that would be my next step on where I want to be like you. And so I actually, last week I got with him and I was like, hey, I need you to time block 2 hours of your day. I need your undivided attention, right? Because he's pulled it in a lot of different directions, because I created a list. So I'm like trying to manifest and really just sit in that and be uncomfortable and tell him, hey, I need you to do this for me. And so I can grow too. Because I'm like, oh, gosh, I want to grow your company. There's so many avenues that I would like to do. And I love what I do.
That's
and I
great.
want to keep doing it. So it's just, I'm not getting any younger. And so I'm just trying to sit in it and be uncomfortable, because it's just, there's a lot of uncomfortable seasons, and it's just being able to reflect and realize that, it took some time. It took some time for me to know what reflecting is.
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? A lot of us don't do it. We get it super veered off on a day-to-day life, right? We're distractions, just doing the 9 to 5,
What does your faith look like in the process when you're trying to grow and it's uncomfortable?
Yeah. For me, the best way I could frame in words my faith journey is practicing the way. We talked about how I love that book and that author, and it's something I've just kept with me. I think, speaking specifically to just faith worldview, I think we do a lot of like speak the name of Jesus, and we don't do enough of practice the way of Jesus. And it's like, you could put the name of Jesus on anything, like genocide and all the above, right? We can get into some really murky waters. We can become politically influenced. We can waver so far off this simple path that like the ultimate mentor and OG gave us, right? And just this limitless grace, this boundless love, this going to controversial lengths to love the least of these, to serve, man, to give, to not make it about, power and privilege and what can we get away with and how can we influence people to, garner support, but just a simple life of, I'm led by gratitude, and so I don't have a lot of wants or needs. A simple life where my biggest win is what I can produce in the life of somebody else.
Amen.
Being generous, right? And I look at the fruits of the Spirit. That list, it'll never go out of style. Yeah. And it's like, that's what I want to embody. Love, joy, peace, gentleness, patience. The last one is the kicker, self-control. I mean, to be able to have temperance and the ability to say, I want this thing right now, but what I want the most, let me leverage the two and make a decision, right? Like, if I want to just like kick my feet up, take the day off from training and just like eat whatever I want to eat, but like, no, I have a high rocks in a few months, like I'm going to train toward that, and it's going to influence what I eat today, right? I think the same thing is true in my faith walk. It's less about, let me memorize this scripture and quote this pastor and make sure I say things just the right way so church folks will agree with me on Instagram. No. Ultimately, what I want right now could be to appease people, but what I want most is to authentically practice the way of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I even noticed too in scripture where Jesus is talking about our relationship to him, what he would want. He doesn't say worship me, he says follow me. And I think that's an inconvenient truth for a lot of people. Right. And I don't say that either to try to make it like I'm against the concept of worship. Please don't misconstrue me. What I'm saying though is that I think the truest and most whole and the purest form of worship is to simply follow. Is to say, I want to get so intimately close to Jesus that I can understand his heart and his decisions, and like I follow his word, his will, his way, such that I don't just ask, what would Jesus do? I ask, what would Jesus do if he were me? What would Jesus do right now in 2025 in these circumstances? What would he do as a father of 3, right? I think if everybody applied that to their life, they'd get really clear answers really quickly. Like if the single mother was like, what would Jesus do as a single mother? If the person who was super wealthy but struggling with these feelings of like, man, maybe I need to grow in generosity, were to ask, what would Jesus do if he were me right now, right? I think that it brings forth a lot of answers really clearly. And Yeah, I think practicing the way has been the way that I've navigated my faith. And I think that's helped me with this process of becoming, this process of exploring, this process of staying curious about who am I here to be? What am I called to? Right.
Yeah.
And it helps with that purpose thing. Right. Because now I don't need to find like, oh, I phrased it in these 3 cute words. That's my purpose. This is my slogan. I'm going to write it on my mirror. That's what I'm going to do. Like purpose can evolve and shift and change. And I can be called to different things in different seasons. But ultimately, it's not about what I'm called to do. It's like who I'm called to be. And I can show up and I can be that anywhere. And my faith has really helped me understand that better.
That's so awesome. The following the Jesus. Everyone wants to be a leader, but to be a leader, you got to be led first.
For sure.
You got to submit. And you talked about how, because you're a coach, you were talking about how going to somewhere on the Sunday fun days and being coach and how it felt so good. To me, that just spoke volumes of your character, because every coach, when you're a coach, sometimes you don't want to, you look at other coaches and you judge them how they're coaching. Yeah. I would do it this way. But you loved submitting. You loved just taking everything off of you. Like, oh, this guy's going to lead me this time today. I need to be led. I need to be coached.
Yeah, for sure. And I appreciate you saying it's a high character thing. For me, honestly, it just was like a reprieve. It was like, man, I can take my foot off the gas pedal. You know what I mean? And, shout out to Coach James and BC Fit Sunday Fun Day. You know what I'm saying? Running with James. It's been so good because I put in so many hours a week coaching so many people. Sometimes I don't get the time to coach myself.
Yeah.
I got to manage so many people's exercise programming. And then, I'm all about being a husband and an incredible father. Nothing's going to get in the way of that. Sometimes your workouts can kind of be lacking. You get that little, I got 30 minutes free. I'll do a little something, right? Getting out there and rocking with the Run Club crew has been really cool because for the first time in a long time, I was being coached, not being called on to be a coach, but being coached. And I loved how there would be little simple things that James would call out from the corner of the track. And, James, he doesn't mince words. He's going to tell you, what you need to do. And there would be so many days where he would say something really simple, like, hey, quicken your cadence.
180.
Right. Like he would help you with not working harder, not, putting yourself in the pain cave unnecessarily to try to prove something to yourself. But it would be like, hey, here's this little small practical thing. From what I'm seeing, you need to implement this thing and like right now. And even if it hurts a little bit, even if it's hard, even if you question your ability to do it, I challenge you to try this and just see what happens. And so I'd try these little things. I would quicken my cadence, even if I was tired, or I would change something in my breathing, or I would avoid heel striking in my run strides. And these little tiny things ultimately made me such a better runner.
Yeah.
And so I'm all about following. I think leadership is really cool. But we can only ever lead from a position of our learning. And leadership is predicated on followership, right? Like there's an NBA team that I work with as a mindset coach. And that's a really big thing for them. Like they have it literally on walls inside of their training facility. It says followership. And I love that so much because it's like, especially in like an alpha male, big dog space, like sports, it's like, sure, you can be a leader and you signed a great contract and the media always talks about you and like fickle fanhood is going to love you or hate you, right? But ultimately, like, how are you showing up for the people around you? And if you're in service to them, you're going to elevate yourself by proxy.
I'm learning a lot from him.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So it comes with consistency, right? Like the discipline. Everything we're speaking about comes with that discipline.
Yeah.
How does that for you, like the discipline shape for your like fitness journey as well as your day-to-day life, as well as time blocking when you're done working, let's go be the dad. Like obviously it's probably been a journey. Figuring that out as you've had, a child, you have 3, 4, 6, and 8. You're busy. You're busy. How old? So your oldest 8, what grade is that?
So he's going into 3rd grade here pretty soon.
Yeah. It's summer now. So are you ready for the next?
Man. Yeah,
I guess you never are, but.
Yeah, you never really are ready in a moment. But if you're in a process of staying curious toward getting ready, when the moment comes, you'll be ready, right? And they're at really fun ages. To answer your question on discipline, right? I think we just don't do enough of honoring the boring parts that lead to discipline, Again, another thing I learned from Coach James, was to run faster, you better start running slower.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Right. If all you ever do is train to run fast, you're going to get injured fast, burnt out fast. Right. But getting into that zone 2 where 80% of your work is done at a conversation pace, you're like, man, I thought I was running slow. This thing says I'm out of zone 2. I got to go even slower. Like, what is this? This is a crazy pace to hold for this long of a time period. Right. But then ultimately, when I do that 20% where it's about speed, I'm getting more speed because I built the engine for speed.
And you can feel
from that time in slowness, right? Like get quiet to live loud.
Absolutely.
Or the ancient Latin words festina lente. It means to make haste slowly, which I think is beautiful. It's like you slow down, you ultimately speed up because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You're not going back and having to fix errors. You're not getting injured in the middle of a training block when it comes to running. And then anything that we attach productivity metrics to, this applies. Like even in professional life, right? Efficiency. Just, shooting at a high clip. You're going to ultimately be doing a lot more winning than losing.
Yeah.
And I welcome that into my life as a form of discipline because I think motivation is a liar. Motivation will cheat on you.
Right.
Motivation is just such a terrible friend. Like that's if you and motivation were friends, I'd have to like give you a life coaching session on how like you need less toxic friends. Right? Because motivation will make you feel so good. In a moment where nothing matters. It's not the clutch time, right? When it's go time, motivation can be so fleeting and it can leave you. And then you just feel crippled by the pressure of performance. And then when it comes to discipline, it's like, I'm just going to show up. And that's all there is to it. Kobe Bryant once said, whether I make or miss the next shot is inconsequential. I live in an infinite groove. I'll shoot again. I thought that was so beautiful, right? It's like just continually showing up. Or like Dylan Scott, he's one of the greatest high rocks athletes. He's in the Elite 15 and World Championships and all this. I love what he says. It's just simple. It's 2 words. It's be inevitable. That to me is like, I can't unhear those words. Like I get I think I got a dopamine hit in my brain, even just quoting him on that, like be inevitable. Cause it's like inevitability is like, oh, it's happening. I want, Sunday fun day. I want people out there to be like, oh, Terry, yeah, he's coming. Yeah, he's going to work. He's going to leave better than he came. Like it's inevitable, right? Like inevitability is that thing where you see a hurricane warning come across your TV and you got 24 hours. Like it's not a joke. It's not a baby. I want my life in discipline to be inevitable. I want it to be inevitable that like, yeah, he's a present dad, but not just present physically, because to be physically present and emotionally absent is by definition neglect. Like, no, he's emotionally available and invested in his children's lives. Yeah, he's a great husband, not just because he's a faithful husband, but because he's a husband who adores his wife and takes her on date nights and is putting forth intentional, effort.
Right.
And so discipline is huge. Discipline is boring. Discipline is hard. Discipline can suck sometimes, but ultimately discipline is a really great companion to your journey where motivation is trash.
No, it's the foundation. What daily non-negotiable helps you keep you aligned with your purpose? Daily.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's not about a list of non-negotiable things, like exact things, but I have a list of words I say that remind me of my non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Comes from a book called Beyond Comfort by this great dude. His name is Ted Rath, which, by the way, I met him by chance. I was on a speaking engagement in Orlando, speaking to the NFL performance coaches. All the team strength coaches, they converge for a conference annually. And I was brought in to speak. And at the time, this guy, Ted, was the president of that organization. He was like a VP for the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, now he's with the New Orleans Saints. He's their strength and performance guy. Anyway, I had it on my heart to reach out to Ted because I remembered, meeting him at this speaking engagement. And then I'm thinking, yeah, let me look him up online real quick, see how I can get in touch with him. And then I became aware that he wrote this book and I saw the title, Beyond Comfort. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like I'm feeling this nudge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to reach out to him until I've read his book. And then we got something to talk about because like I had a feeling like this book's about to be life-changing. And it was. And so coming back to your question, my daily non-negotiables are 3 pillars that came from this book. And they are: the standard is the standard, zoom out and zoom in, and then default urgent. So this first one, the standard is the standard. And I'm a words guy, so this really just it rings bells in my head. This reminder, like the standard you said you would live up to is the actual standard that you need to perform to. Like,
don't lower the bar.
Yeah, don't set yourself up for stagnation and like, another year comes around. Like, what's my New Year's resolution? Oh, that stuff I said I was gonna do last year that I didn't do. Like, no.
Yeah.
The standard is the standard. Like, we're growing younger, period. We're gonna be a great dad, period.
Right.
We're going to have better high rocks finish times, period. Like, the standard is the standard. Then that second one, zoom out, zoom in. This is a really simple principle. It's basically like, look at the long-term time horizon. I want to be dancing at my 80th birthday party.
Yeah.
I want to be the kind of grandpa that is on all fours playing horseshoe with grandbabies. I want to be the kind of dad right now, today, that goes to my son's soccer practice. And I don't have to, no disrespect or judgment to other dads, I don't have to sit on the sidelines with a bad knee and a bad back. Like, we're running sprints with the kids before practice starts. Like, all my son's little teammates are going to know, like, oh, yeah, little Terry's dad, like, he's about that action, right?
Yeah.
So zoom out, zoom in means use your telescope first and look at the really big picture. What's your actual goal? It's not that 5 pounds you said you wanted to lose.
Right.
Like, what's the bigger goal? And then you zoom right back in. Like, okay, I'm clear on that goal. Like, what do I need to do about it today? And then the last one's really simple. It's default urgent. That means do it right now. Not after you finish scrolling for 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Not when it's convenient, when it feels good. If there is something that is mission aligned and you need to complete this objective to uphold that standard, do it now. Default urgent.
Because people will sit in that for a while, you know, or we will. We're human beings, right? So it's like we get distracted or what something else calls us a certain way. Yeah. And then, let me do that tomorrow. But I agree. I'm practicing that same thing now. It's like if I'm going to speak it to the team or to something, I have to do it. And and then that goes back to standards. Who you say you are is who you should show up to be.
The standard is the standard.
That's good.
Yeah.
Stop being a pro at procrastination.
Ooh, that's a bar.
Nice,
Stop being a pro at procrastination. I love it. I'd rather be an amateur at action.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Gosh. How many books have you read?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Off the top of your head, like.
Golly, a lot. I'm always reading.
I love that.
And I'll have some books where, like, I'll sit with an actual copy, and read. And then some are audiobooks where I can reframe my drive time. You know, Houston,
Absolutely.
like everything is far from everything. Houston is an hour from Houston. So everywhere you're going, you're going to be in some traffic.
I'm kidding.
And I once heard somebody say that the average American spends about as much time in their car as a college student spends in the classroom.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, well, if I turn all that time
got
into
a degree.
Reading great books or listening to awesome podcasts, like I'm getting a degree every 4 years. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm just always reading. I'll finish one, pick up the next one. I already have 2 on my wish list. So when actually today, as a matter of fact,
This one getting
is the 15th. So I just got my new Audible credit today.
Nice.
So 15th of every month.
That's awesome.
Coming out of here, I'm getting the new Cameron Haynes book today.
Okay.
That's on my wish list to download.
Dang. So I've actually been trying to. So on my longer runs, do you listen to? Well, I'll switch it up. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I'm like, with this park I run at, there's a lot of trees, so you can all the birds. It's just such a peaceful, quiet, safe space to be in. But now I'm over the music, and so I'm like Spotify, and I'm listening to the podcast, like learning how to lead a team or like different things, and it makes my run go by so fast because I'm like, like your brain goes a whole nother avenue. You forget you're running, and then you're zone 2, so it's like you stay the zone 2 and just learning different avenues on how to hold yourself accountable to get it done is what I'm trying to say.
I love that you brought that up. I actually have a kind of a strong opinion on this one.
Okay.
So I'm a person who doesn't say one size fits all things. I don't believe myself to be some guru or expert, right? Again, we're leading only from a level of our learning, right? But some things that I've learned and implemented, and I've seen really good byproducts from it. Arthur C. Brooks. So this is a guy who he teaches a course at Harvard Business School called Managing Happiness. Fun fact, you can take the course for free.
Oh, wow.
Earn a certificate online from Harvard Extension.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So Arthur C. Brooks, he is this faith-based neuroscience coach who studies the science of how the brain works. And one thing that he discovered was this phenomenon called elevated wandering play. So when your mind is disconnected from digital external outputs, it enters this space of elevated wandering play. If you were able to sit for 2 hours in complete silence every day, your brain would get better at learning and memory and you know, verbalizing ideas. But what human can sit for 2 hours quietly?
Right.
Spending some time quiet, let's say 30 minutes in the morning, have your little quiet time, right, is great. But he said one thing that can really greatly enhance the state of elevated wandering play is to get outside for a walk or a run, totally unplugged. And if you can do it totally unplugged, you're getting a lot of performance outcomes. So part of it is EMDR, sorry. So it's eye movement and desensitization reprocessing. That's a lot of syllables there. But EMDR is basically this process by which when you're on the move constantly at one steady pace, your eyes naturally are scanning back and forth, left and right.
Yeah.
And this is going to activate pieces of your brain that are super important. The hippocampus wakes up. There's memory, there's learning, there's verbal processing. The amygdala, the emotional epicenter of your brain that can send you to fight or flight, goes to sleep. Then your prefrontal cortex, decision making, logic, wisdom, this all comes online. And so when you're on a run, and I love how you talked about listening to birds in the trees, this is really actually huge for your nervous system. You're regulating your nervous system in a way that very few things can, right? Like therapy could do it. Incredible teaching from a source of wisdom could do it. Spending time in a cold plunge could do it, right? But nothing quite works the way bird song works. And here's the logic behind that. It'll make sense when I explain it. So hearing bird song, like humans way back in the day before we had digital distraction, if they were outside, you're hearing nothing because there's a predator in the area. Or you're hearing bird song, which tells you, oh, this is safe. And the nervous system would just untangle and stress would melt away. Anxiety and depression would go away. Like your brain doesn't have access to negative emotion in that moment. Because when you hear bird song, it's literally telling your central nervous system, hey, you're safe here. Breathe slower and relax. I'm going to go ahead and slow your heart rate down for you. I'm going to go ahead and remove those thoughts of worry from you. And that's why you enter this state of elevated wandering play. You're able to enjoy your run just as a time to yourself, doing something that's good for yourself, right? Then I'll also agree that on a long run, it's great to turn those into learning experiences. So if I'm running 5 miles or less, I'm digitally disconnected. Right? If I'm going for more length, one thing I do, I think is kind of fun, is like my first 2 miles, I'm digitally disconnected. Miles 2 through, let's say, like 7 will be, I'm listening to an incredible audiobook or a podcast, I'm learning something. And then whatever's left for the rest of that run, say if it's a 10-mile run, that last 3 miles, then I can have some fun with my music. What I love about that is you've gotten past, this music is giving me a dopamine hit and it's influencing my pace or, you know what I mean? Like you get past all of that, all the cute feels of, this is my jam, right? All that's gone. It's out the window. Now you're tired and your body's looking for, carbs. Hopefully you bring some gels with you on the long run, all that. But you complete that learning on your run before you get to the point where you're too deep in a hole where you're not processing that information the same. And then you just get your entertainment on the back end. Let Drake bring you on to the finish line.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it. God, what's the longest, how many miles, what's your longest run you've done?
Well, I've done a couple of marathons. So that'll drag you into those long training runs real quick. And then obviously marathon distance at 26.2 miles is pretty long. But after doing my second marathon, I kind of decided that I don't want to do those distances anymore.
Same.
I love
my second one, I was done.
I love it. I think it's great. I hear friends they're running marathons. Like, I love that for you. For me, something like High Rocks is perfect because I can run and do something else.
Absolutely.
Because I want to get strength work when I'm in the gym.
You're competing right next to everybody and people are all around you the whole time firing you up.
The adrenaline. Did you end up being able to sign up for Dallas? Or you just
I'm in Dallas. I'm running it with my guy Travis for a doubles team. We just came off of High Rocks NYC. We were in the pro division there. Got a new PR, our best finish ever. So we're feeling all the feels. We're ready for Dallas.
Amazing.
We got our best finish on our hardest race. Like, we fixed run pace, we moved quickly, we're doing well, we're trending toward something awesome. And then at the lunges, I crashed hard.
Really?
So he's like behind me, like, hey T, let me know when you want to switch. Like, hey, it's not time to switch. Like, we talked about this, we know when we're gonna switch. And he said it a second time, like, hey, let me know if you need me.
You saw it.
So I'm starting to realize, he sees in me what I don't yet feel for myself. Pass the bag to him, he begins to lunge, and instantly my quads lock up like rocks. And I'm like, we've been going so strong all day. We're on the second to last event. What if we can't finish? This is crazy. He's a superhero, finishes the lunges out for us,
Nice.
does way more than he should have. We get on that next run. Well, now my legs are fresher because I didn't do those lunges.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to move us at a quick pace. We get to the wall balls, final event. You're right there at the dang finish line. The DJ is jamming.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm just X amount of reps from being done. And it was like we both just, I mean, few reps for him, a few reps for me. We're constantly switching. We're just surviving the wall balls. And so we had done so well early on. We protected our PR. We were able to get our best finish, even as we had a really crummy end to the race. And I feel the guilt of that. Like, no, I'm training so much harder now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for my man Travis, I'm not letting him down. So in Dallas, we are getting a new PR. We're going to hit an aggressive goal, and we're going to crush it. We're going to finish out strong.
What's the goal?
We want to finish sub 70. So under an hour and 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I think would be a really good and healthy goal for us to shoot for. I don't think we're the kind of savages that can finish in under an hour.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that happen now where it's like, I mean, and that's elite, right? That's the few,
for sure.
right? Like Coach James, he can do it,
Yeah.
right? But then like average finish times are something like 95 to 100 minutes, right? And, you know, we've broken that 80-minute mark. That feels good. Now I want 70, right?
Yeah.
And the Dallas race actually lands on the weekend of my 40th birthday.
Oh.
So for me, it's like, I'm choosing that. Like, I want that. I want to circle that date.
Nice.
At age 40, I'm going to finish a
PR.
High Rocks sub 70. Yeah, that's
awesome.
the game plan.
That is awesome.
Dang, I love that. It's 3 days this year, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
They
that
were
wild?
wise in making it a 3-day event. The sport's
sure.
growing really fast.
Yeah.
And it's sold out immediately.
That's why I was
quick.
curious if you got the tickets. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I know a few people that weren't unable to.
Yeah, Boston's going on sale tomorrow or 2 days from
Yeah.
now, something like that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I need to sign up for one. This is my first year first November not doing one.
Really?
Wait, second. I lied because so my niece's birthday lands on November in Dallas, and then my sister's birthday lands on the weekend
Houston.
of Houston. So
Wow.
we're both busy. So it kind of, which, do I want to choose? But it's getting bigger. And so this year was like, Casey asked me to do Dallas. And then luckily we didn't because it sold out so quickly, But I love the training part of it.
Yeah.
The running.
The journey. The becoming, right? The process of becoming.
Exactly. It keeps me hyped, but I'm still keeping up with the training because I'm with Jeremy. Or training with him and stuff. Because Jeremy, I think I mentioned to you about MRT.
Jeremy Geist at MRT Optimal Fitness.
Yes, his story is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
He used to do Camp Gladiator
Yeah.
at like parks and had like a trailer, kind of like James as well. And now he has his own. It's just neat to see people in the community grow the way
Yes.
with the consistency.
Do they still do the CG games?
I don't know. Is CG still around that you know of?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they had a big sale a few years back.
Yeah.
And so things I think started to change organizationally, but I don't really know what pieces they kept versus what they've done away with.
Yeah.
But I remember CG Games was a big thing
Yeah.
back in the day.
They're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got fourth in the nation.
What?
You did it? You
Hold
did it.
on.
This guy is insane.
Yeah.
He was doing even the Spartan races and you
Yeah, I used to be good. I hate saying used to be. I'm good still.
Yeah.
Mentally, I
Yeah.
am. I just started back running too, so I don't want to talk about that too much.
Fourth in the nation, though. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was actually so you have to do the trial run for it. They do the nations, and I actually got called as a sub because someone didn't make it. Someone couldn't go, and so I was like one of the subs there. Like, oh, you come and do it. Ended up make it to the top 10. Then there was a final 4. We had to do a battle. And I got 4th.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, it was a whole day. I didn't bring food. I was I was on empty stomach the whole
Where
day.
was that at?
In Austin.
Okay. I was like, it was in Texas, right?
This guy's like, yeah, just top 5 in the world on an empty stomach. You know what I'm saying?
It was horrible.
Yeah, I could imagine, but your athleticism is insane.
You should have seen how when I was there was all these dudes who were like jacked and stacked, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? And then when they called the top 4, they all looked at me like, what? They were mad. It was so embarrassing, but it was cool. They weren't so happy that I made it. They thought that I knew somebody.
Dang. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then hold on. How many Spartan races have you? Was that your only one? That was your only one because you had to stop.
CG.
Yeah, CG. I didn't know that about.
Yeah, I did the CG 1 year. Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever get back into Spartans?
Spartans?
No.
I would love that. Yeah, I like running. Running is probably my thing. And then you add workouts and obstacles.
Yeah.
It makes it even more fun. It's like a playground while you run.
How many obstacles are on a Spartan? I don't know.
5 plus.
25?
Yeah, plus.
Didn't know that. How many miles?
It can be 3, 9, or 13.
Yes, you have the sprint, the super, and the beast.
Okay.
Or the ultra where you do like a marathon.
Wow, I just learned something new.
I did a trifecta one year. It was 2015. So you do the sprint, super, and beast all within one season. They call it a trifecta.
Okay.
And so we did Spartan Race World Championships out in Lake Tahoe.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was
Beautiful.
awesome. But you couldn't run it. They intentionally put the course in such a steep place that you're essentially you're climbing and crawling for most of the mileage. It was real.
Dang.
Yeah, everywhere but Houston we're flat here. We're so spoiled. We go anywhere else, it's up and down and
The perspective there.
yeah. So I like High Rocks. It's all the same altitude.
Yeah.
No
And you get to
altitude
train
change.
like genuine. Okay, and you know do you all know I guess the exercises in the
Yeah,
Spartan?
the day before they release the map, but that's it.
Really?
Yeah. But they
So where Spartan
you're
would differ from
training-
High Rocks is like
Right.
you just train to be resilient.
Yeah.
And what they throw at you,
sure.
you better respond, right?
And that's why also High Rocks has grown so much too, right? Because the everything, how to row properly, how to ski properly, like everyone kind of has gravitated towards. It's even being in Jeremy's gym and stuff. It's so naturally, I'm like, this is how, I want to help coach and with form and not getting hurt and the running process. Like, I love it.
It's about like James. James is always about efficiency. How can I work less but still get better outcomes and not going all out at once?
Right.
So you have to form down on pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then even the same thing with running. A lot of people that aren't educated about running, I always thought you're supposed to be tired after a run, like huffing and puffing. And then lo and behold, you hear about this conversational pace, and it's like, even girlfriends I have now, I'm like, no, like we can genuinely catch up with how our week's going. That's how it should be.
And then like that opens up a whole new door, right? Because it's like I'm getting the best fitness training I could possibly get for myself today, and it didn't come at the expense of quality time with a friend.
Absolutely.
But let's say you have a friend that's not as far along in their fitness journey as you are. It's such an inclusive thing now because you're like, yeah, girl,
Come on in.
it's supposed to be zone 2, conversation pace.
Yeah.
Like there is no judgment for how fast or slow you are.
Yeah.
We're literally just, this is our catch-up time, right? And now you're saving money because you're not spending that time, you know, buying an
to
extra
dinner,
coffee
lunch.
you didn't need right now, right?
Yeah.
Like you just, it's such a win. Like when we make decisions in the direction of discipline, it saves us time and money and creates new avenues for our personal well-being.
And I've noticed that's like a lot of our friendships too, kind
Also
of
the gym.
gravitating
Yeah.
towards that.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's just, we're getting older and I'm really hobbies, like the things you love, what fills your cup, that's mine. Let's start your Saturday morning with that long run. Let's get a group of people that are all like-minded. It's contagious.
Isn't it wild how that happens?
It is. Like, why wasn't I doing this a long time ago? I didn't, but it was running, guys. I did not like to run. I don't know who I am now, but it's just a part of,
It's awesome.
it's a part of me.
I had a close friend a couple weeks ago. He's like, yo, this author, this Sahil Bloom wrote a book called The 5 Types of Wealth.
Gosh, you remember so many. I
good.
love it.
Right. So it's like, money is one type of wealth, but it's like relational wealth and physical wealth and mental wealth. Right. And so it was cool. Anyway, a buddy of mine's like, hey, Sahil Bloom's going to be speaking in Austin. It's on a Monday night. Now, mind you, this is summertime. So I'm not thinking like I got to, get the kids down from school and, Like,
right.
have this like freedom and schedule and everything. He's like, yo, this is going to be crazy, but roll with me on a Monday night.
Yeah.
We'll go see Sahil live in Austin, pop up early the next morning. Let's go get a 5-mile run, eat some barbecue, come right back to HQ. I'm like, yo, that sounds like Christmas.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
That's my
it's
love
funny
language.
how like our, the things that we're into changes as we get a little older and more mature. I'm like, yo, this is amazing.
Yep.
Go hear from one of my favorite authors, crush a 5-mile run, and then eat some
In
good
another city,
barbecue.
exactly.
Come on, man.
Get some views while you're at it.
Get some altitude training, some steps to
Sure.
the hill.
Austin's fun to run in.
And by the way, Terry Black's barbecue in Austin.
Never
Oh my
been,
goodness.
I've
That's-
heard.
yeah.
Best ribs I've ever had in my life. I love barbecue.
Yeah.
And so like if I'm in a place that's claiming to have good barbecue, I gotta taste and see if the ribs are good. And at Terry Black's, they were off the chain.
Okay. Good to know. We gotta, it's been a while since I've been to Austin. Well, my family lives there, but we're always going for like baby showers. Like we're on a mission. So we would just need to make more of a trip to like stay.
To just go.
Because there's so much to do. You can paddleboard, you can go to, Anyway, so I wanted to do like a final like takeaway, and I had a question for you. What would you say to the person listening who feels like they've missed their calling or wasted too much time?
Good question. If a person feels like they've wasted too much time, I'd say there's just never a bad time to start.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people start things later than they wanted to, or in a worse position than they wanted to. And I think the big work to do there is to do away with shame. I think if a person feels like, oh, my time has left me, it's like, no. you are feeling shame and attachment to what you wish you had done with time in the past.
Right.
You cannot change the past, but you can write the future. What does that then say of who you will be here in the present? Right? And so taking action is always the answer. I love how Rocky said, I don't want to be a pro in procrastination. And then I follow it up naturally with like, I'd rather be an amateur at action. That works really well in how we reason with that question, right? Because for the person who chooses to start something new today, I think people just don't realize how much your life can be so different 6 months from now. And so if you decided like, no, full stop today, I'm going to text 2 friends that are going to hold me accountable to my goals, right? 6 months down the line, you've been just consistent and nothing else. You haven't been good at it. You haven't had skill.
Yeah.
You haven't seen results, but you've just been consistent. You will wake up half a calendar year from today, looking back saying, whoa, a lot has changed.
Right.
Right. And I think that accountability piece is huge. Research has shown that if people have a goal, they have a 4% chance of achieving it. That's boo-boo.
Wow.
If you have a goal and write it down, you have a 44% chance of achieving it. Like you've already 11x'd your odds there. But if you have a goal, you write it down, and you tell a friend for purposes of accountability, and they actually are checking in with you, your chances of achieving it shoot up to 78 to 96%. Like you're going to hit the dang goal or be so close to it that you're happy with the results that you got if you're willing to do the work and welcome accountability.
Yeah.
And so I think if somebody feels like, oh, I've missed my purpose, or, oh, I've wasted too much time, or, oh, I've already lost. It's like, no, like this ain't like a basketball game. There's no such thing as regulation time and the buzzer goes off and you ran out of time. You have the time if you have the will to start right now. And then I think purpose, the earlier part of that question is answered by this. Purpose will introduce itself to you. So many people are seeking purpose and like, where is my purpose? And like, if we ask little questions, like, oh, if I just knew what to do, right? It's like God doesn't talk to us like that. He's not like, here's the playbook.
Direct, yeah.
It's more of like, you know what? I'm feeling a longing, a desire, a nudge, a big question in this direction. What if I just trust myself, trust God, trust the process, hold things in trust enough that I'm willing to take those imperfect and intentional actions toward finding an answer in that space. And then it's like one day you're in the shower or you're driving. It's an unremarkable, boring moment when it just hit me. I should call this person, or I should apply for this job, or I should pursue this thing. And then suddenly you can't unsee it.
Right. Dang, Terry. I love it. So I think I mentioned this maybe on the other podcast, but something I'm doing now just with the little goal. So I signed up for another half in October. And I signed up last year and I did it with this, how do I explain it? I didn't know if I was officially going to do it. I did it just to hold myself accountable with having a ticket, right? And now I got a calendar, put it in between like where my bathroom, and so I see it literally the moment I get out of bed. And I now started to write down the mileage. I'm running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. The long runs are Saturdays. And so now I'm writing down the number. How much did you run Monday? You know what I mean? And so, and I will X that. And so now this morning I saw it and I ran yesterday and I'm like, oh, I didn't get that run in this morning. I got to get it in sometime this evening. And so it just kind of helps me accountability. Now I need to say it out loud, and I'm saying it now that I have the half in October. So guys, hold me accountable, please. It's here in Houston.
Love it.
I want to do it again. I want to run. That was Rocky showed up on what mile was that? 8 or 9 for me, and it was freezing for the Chevron. Never ran a half or anything. And so it was just adrenaline, and it was just amazing. So I want that feeling again. So I'm excited.
Love it.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right. I'll be checking in. We'll have accountability.
Okay, perfect. I needed to say it. Otherwise, I don't know, where I'm at. Still love running. However, I need to be more intentional with the runs, speed work and all that. But
you're going to kill it.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was my last question for you. And I feel like I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
For sure.
Appreciate that. Yeah. It was good having the conversation with you guys, and I'm learning a lot through these conversations as well. So I appreciate you having me today.
No, absolutely. We're trying to help lives in whatever way that we can in our story. And your story helped us as well. And anyways, but thanks for tuning in, you guys. Stay rooted.
And keep rising.
See you on the next one.